Today, we are going to introduce our project, which is about Stellar XLM. Firstly, let me introduce my team. Here's Nicolas, who is our project manager and the developer. He leads and manages our project team. He is responsible for design and the overall operate system as well. And Claudio, who is our data analyst. He is responsible for acquire data and run in Python and store data in MongoDB database. Here's me, Jingya. My role is business analysis. My task is documenting the process of project and performing requirements analysis. Here are some information about cryptocurrency. The main difference between cryptocurrency and regular currency is that they are not controlled by any government, person, or entity. Also, they are not affected by inflation. They have become increasingly popular during 2021 as well as other periods. There is a potential to make great profits as the world becomes more and more dependent on technologies and is advanced. So there are thousands of cryptocurrencies on the market and many more being developed. However, many of them die and do not have the proper technology support or the ability to solve a problem. Cryptocurrency markets are open 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days a year. If you enter the crypto market before it becomes mature, there is far greater returns than the financial markets. So with so many cryptocurrencies available, which one shows greater potential to make you amazing profit? Since it's a mature, events like Tesla growing crypto as a payment method has huge impact on the market. So what is Stellar XLM? Stellar was created in 2014 by non-profit organization called Stellar Development, which is founded by Jed Metcalf. Jed Metcalf has previously launched the Bitcoin exchange platform, which is co-founding the payment network Ripple. Stellar is an open source platform for currency payment. Stellar XLM is one of the best and oldest currencies in the cryptocurrency market. In a Stellar payment network, users use Stellar XLM as the basic currency. Users can transfer alien currency through XLM, including USD, RMB, EUR, JPR, or Bitcoin, and so on. Why XLM is good to get into? So XLM is one of the top 20 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. It has fast transaction speeds. The transaction time on Stellar are confirmed in 3 to 5 seconds, thus providing a valuable solution to traditional currency transactions through third parties like bank, PayPal that can at times take hours or even days. The price is cheaper than other popular cryptocurrency, making it a possible good investment. Here's our project summary. Firstly, we are going to apply API token and acquire data from CryptoCompare, and then use Python to acquire data and store in MongoDB. And next, use Python to run our data that will show the price of XLM in Canadian dollars. The price will then be updated every hour as updated to every 24 hours, as we will retrieve more data using next hours. Also, we use Google chart to visualize the performance of XLM in Canadian dollars. So lastly, we demonstrate our chart and host in the web. Now Claudio is going to present the Jupyter Notebook where we acquire data information.
Thanks, Jingya. As she already mentioned, I'm going to present the Python code that we use to query the information we needed for the project. To do this, we use an API solution from CryptoCompare, and their API returns many different finance data, as price, what was the volume, what was the high and low of the day, and many other trading information. But for this project, we focus on the current price. To get the data from CryptoCompare, we sign up to obtain a free key API that allowed us to get the updated price. So to do that, we used Python, and the first thing we had to do was install the tools and libraries that are not standard from Python, but comes with the CryptoCompare PIP package manager. After the installation, we imported the CryptoCompare module with the import statement, and to be able to make use of their functions of the module. Some of the information are, oh no, I was skipping here. So here we had to provide the API key that we obtained from the by signing up from the CryptoCompare website. And now we get to use the CryptoCompare functions that comes with the module. So some of the information that we get when we use the function getCoinList are like full names of Bitcoins, and also description of like many other. Let me show here, because the information is very extended. So you have the description of Paycon, description of Bitcoin Dark. So we have many Bitcoins information here. And now this is the function, the get price, that we use to extract the information from specifically XLM. But here we ran the code as true. So to list every type of the information that it provides. So as we can see here, we have what was the last volume, what was the volume of the day, what the volume 24 hours, what was the open day, high hours, what was the value, and there are many information here. But we only need the price, the current price. So for that, we use the same code, but we assign it as a false. So that was how we obtained the price of Stellar XLM cryptocurrency price using the API from CryptoCompare. And now with Python, we continue to use the same cryptocurrency, but now we are going to get the data from the website to get it to the database. And the database that we are using for this is called MongoDB. The first thing that we had to do, we had to import the Mongo client from PyMongo. We established the connection to Mongo client using the localhost 2717, which is a standard one. We defined the database from the local computer, Ethernet, and we also defined the client database to the Mongo client. And here is the outline that we use to grab some information from the web, following the standard request to follow the HTTP protocol. And by doing this, we were able to get the updated information that we wanted, that we needed for this project. And we also imported the time library. And by running this code, we requested with the user Nicolas, we requested from the website to Mongo client, and we also to the database we created. Actually, we connected both. And here we sent the request to CryptoCompare to get the data to be inserted in the database. So the output that we have is this updated information of the prices in Canadian dollars. And here is the outline to get the price, but now using JSON. And now, thanks. And now Nicolas is going to continue the presentation.
All right, so now we're going to be looking at the what's kind of going behind the scenes and what's making the actual website run. So here we have our app. we're using Visual Studio Code for everything. We have our main Python, where we're supposed to be using Flask, and I'll explain some of the problems that we had with that. We also had the app route, so where we're going, where we're using. We have the line chart from Google that we're going to be using in our example, and then here we have the main functions. I did try to add a second app route in order to upload it not into my computer location where everything is located, so my data programming file for this specific project, but a localhost so someone else can access it. So I try to input the information of my line chart that I have in here into my main PI Python. It didn't work. We can still run the the website. It's not an actual website because it's not on a localhost. It's just on my file directory. But I'll show how it looks like in a second in the index HTML. So here we have basically all the information that we're using in the line chart that we're going to be using. So we have the year here, 2021, and what we have is today's price and historical price. Basically in our Python, I'll show here. In this one. So this isn't in the actual like Jupyter Notebook, but this is the coding that we used and that was shown previously. We have all our information from the MongoDB account. We have our API key down here, and we're just telling it essentially what information we want. So we want the Canadian dollar and the XLM Stellar cryptocurrency that we're looking at, and we're using that to connect. And if I actually pull my MongoDB account, we can see here that it's uploading or updating, sorry. And that's information from previous times we have run the Python coding in Jupyter Notebook. So this is just the data programming, and then we have a sub one called Stellar, and that's where we connect to the MongoDB account. So back to this, and our index page is where we're actually customizing everything using Bootstrap to create our website. So what we want, we have our title, Stellar XLM, cryptocurrency. We took some of the things out that we didn't need, like the navigation bar. But we did make a link with the, we can see here, navigation link with our line chart HTML, which is what we're having here with all the data. It's going to be showing in the index HTML. So if we go ahead and run this, we don't need that. So this is what we're having here. So we have an image that we actually imported, and I'll show actually after. And then we have our chart here. This link is the one that I showed previously. That is going to be showing our line chart, comparing the prices, today's price and historical price from data that we got in Python. So if we click on chart, we see here that Stellar XLM performance, the cryptocurrency that we think is a good investment. And we look here at the data. So we see the values here. And then down here we have the years. It's just essentially to make two lines. If we took out the year out, it would only show one line. It wouldn't show both, but we want to see the relationship in it, how the cryptocurrency is fluctuating. And then up here we can see that it's not an actual local host, as I mentioned before. It's just a file route, like where it's located in my desktop, and my user is Nicolas Gonzalez on the MacBook. So that's essentially what it looks like. And then down here we pretty much just got the image from my after I downloaded it onto the computer, and that's just how we used Bootstrap as well. Essentially, just to make it a little bit nicer, using some of these image to insert the actual image. So here's where we would use the Flask. The problems that we were having is that on the MacBook we couldn't use Git Bash and Heroku how we should have. We used the terminal here in the MacBook, so the terminal that's right here. This is just connected to Jupyter right now. But this is essentially what we would use. Homebrew works. When I would run Git Bash, however, it wouldn't actually run properly. So when we would try to run some of the requirements within Git Bash and try and get everything connected, it would show errors. But if we had more time, I believe we would have just sent all the information to one of the other team members who has a desktop computer, a laptop, and they would have been able to run this, because essentially this is the right coding. We have our line chart that we want our index. We have these in our on our computer, so we have a folder on our computer that's saved with all these, and we're able to create the actual website almost. It's just not up on a local host. And thank you for watching on the index HTML and just how everything ran.